Good morning, everyone. So, today we will be learning chapter number 8, Cell Structures and its Function. So, this is class 8's chapter. Let's begin. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non living. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out some basic functions. Can you list these functions? Of course. Every organism carries out a basic function. As we know, respiration, the circulation system, circulatory system, and many other types of systems. Different sets of organs perform the various functions you have listed. In this chapter, you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is the cell. So the question might come, what is cell? So the basic and structural unit of an organ, which is known as cell. Cell may be compared to the bricks, and bricks are assembled to make the building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. So as we all know, what is cell exactly? We are not understanding cell's meaning immediately. We used to think like cell means what exactly, like blood, RBC, WBC. No, not that type of cells. They are also cells, but not that cells. Cells are nothing but just a small particle which assembles to form a body. So we know the system, right? Cell, tissue, then organ system, and then body. Thus this is cell. Cell is nothing but it is compared to the small bricks which build a huge home or house. Discovery of cell. Now who has discovered cell? Now be ready with your highlighter and underline with me. It makes us easy to understand. Okay, so discovery of cell. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. So you underline till this much. So who has discovered cell? Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke has discovered the cell. Even he has discovered many other things, but we are learning the first thing that Robert Hooke discovered cells when? In 1665. He observed slices of cork. What is cork? Cork is nothing but a bark of a tree, which is a dead bark of a tree. Yeah, dead bark of a tree. Okay, under a simple microscope. And cork is a part of a bark of a tree. And he took thin slices of cork and observed them under microscope. And he noticed some partitioned boxes, compartments. So they are called as nothing but the cell. So here you can see in this image how the structure is looking like a honeycomb. So these boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also may notice that one was separated by another by a wall or partition. Hooke coined the term cell to each box. What Hooke observed as a box or cells in the cork, which actually is dead cell. So he observed dead cells. Okay. Cells of living organisms could be observed only after discovery of improved microscope. Of course, very little was known about the cell for next 150 years after Robert Hooke's observation. Today we know a lot about cell structure and its function because of improved microscope having high magnifications. Now we are having triple X this type of camera and all. Right, we are having very high magnified microscope nowadays. It is having very much power of magnification. So we are having compound microscope, the microscope which zooms so much and all. The cell. So what is the cell? Both bricks in a building and cell in the living organisms are basic structural units. The buildings, though built as similar bricks, have different designs, shapes, and sizes. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another but all are made up of cells. Cells in the living organism are complex living structures unlike non-living bricks. So they have just described about cell. Next, a hen's egg can be seen easily. Right, so is it a cell or a group of cell? So it is a cell only. It is a cell only. It is not a group of cell, but that is large cell, largest. Okay, it is not the largest cell. Largest cell is the egg of ostrich. So this is how the design of cell is. Okay, so here you can see this is brick-like structure and having nucleus in it. So basically this yellowish part which you can see over here, it is an onion peel and which is magnified. Okay. A egg of a hen represents a single cell and it is big enough to be seen by unaided eyes. Okay. Organisms show variety in cell number, shapes and sizes. So organisms show variety in shape and sizes. So how do scientists observe and study the living cells? They use microscope which magnify objects. Stains dye are used to color the parts of cell to study the detailed structure. Yeah, so that it would be visible for us. There are millions of living organisms. They are of different shapes and sizes. Their organs also vary in the shape, size and number of cells. Let us study about some of them. Alright. So first topic is number of cells. Number of cells. So can you guess the number of cells in a tall tree or in a huge animal like elephant? Of course not. The number runs into billions and trillions. Of course, the number runs into billions and trillions. Human body has trillions of cells which vary in shapes and sizes. Different groups of cells perform a variety of functions. So, in human body, there are millions and trillions of cells and they vary in shape. A billion is 1,000 million, a trillion is 1,000 billion. Okay. So, there's a huge amount of cell in each and every organism's body, except microorganisms. Organisms made of more than one cell are known as multicellular. Multicellular. Multi means many, cellular means cell organisms. So the organisms having more than one cell are known as multicellular organisms. The number of cells being less in small organism does not in any way affect the functioning of organism. Yeah, number of cells do not affect the functioning of organism. You'll be surprised to know that an organism with billions of cells begins life as a single cell. Yeah. So, organism with billions of cells begins the life as single cell. Highlighted. So, why are we saying one big organism having billions of cells starts its life with single cell? One cell is formed, nucleus. Then it is divided. Binary fission takes place and thus the zygote forms and then zygote into this foetus something and it forms like this only. And it basically starts the life as a single cell, which is the fertilized egg. The fertilized egg cell multiplies and the number of cells increases as the development proceeds. That you will be learning in chapter that reproduction in animals. We will be learning this. Look at the figure 8.3. Okay. A and B, both organisms are made up of single cell and single cell organisms are called unicellular. Uni means one and cellular means cell. So this are unicellular organisms because they are having only one cell within themselves. Alright. So let us move to our next part. Next part is this. I'm not able to see because of this particular thing. Organisms. A single-celled organism performs all the necessary functions that multicellular organism performs. A single-celled organism like amoeba captures the food, digests, respires, excretes, grows, and reproduces. Of course, though it is single-celled, but it is able to perform all the activities that we humans perform. Okay, like capturing food, digesting, respiration, excretion, grows. Similar functions in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells, forming different tissues. Tissues in turn form organs. Yeah. So this is one of the important thing, that cells form tissue form organ, and organ system and all. So shape of cells. First, number of cells, and second topic is shape of cells. Refer to figure 8.3a. How do you define the shape of amoeba in the figure? You may say that the shape appears irregular. In fact, amoeba has no definite shape. Unlike the other organisms, it keeps on changing its shapes. Observe the projection of varying length protruding out of its body. These are called pseudopodia. So in amoeba it changes its shape and they forms one projection like structure known as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. It means false feet. False feet. As you learned in class 7, these projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves and feeds. So to engulf any structure, this amoeba uses it. What advantage does amoeba derive by changing its shape? Amoeba derives a lot of advantage by changing its shape because it helps it to move, to catch the food, to capture it. Okay, so the change in shape is due to formation of pseudopodia, which facilitates movement and helps to capture the food. Of course, so the question which was asked by Paheli is being answered. Next, white blood cells in human blood. So human blood consists of various components as WBC white blood cells. Okay, it is another example of single cell which can change its shape. So right here, WBC change its shape. WBC is able to change its shape. In human blood, it is another example of a single cell which can change its shape. But while WBC is a cell, amoeba is full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. What shape would you expect in an What shape would you expect in an organism with millions of cells? Figure 8.4 shows different cells such as blood, muscle and nerve cell of a human being. So the question might come, which cell in human body is able to change its shape? So that is WBC, because it need to fight against various organism, bacteria and all. Cells of human beings. The different shapes are related to their specific functions. Okay. Generally, cells are round, spherical, or elongated. Some cells are long and pointed at both ends. There are nerve cells. They exhibit spindle shape. Cells sometimes are quite long. Some are branched like a nerve cell or neuron. The nerve cell receives and transfers messages. Okay. So the important thing, mark it. The nerve cell receives and transfers messages, thereby helping to coordinate the working of different parts of the body. So this is the nerve cell. This is RBC. This is nerve cell, and this is spindle, like muscle cells, maybe muscle. Okay. So next page. Can you guess which part of cell gives its shape? Components of cell are enclosed in a membrane. This membrane provides shape to the cells of plants and animals. Cell wall is an additional covering. Cell wall is an additional covering over the cell membrane in plant. So cell membrane, cell wall. Okay, this is the cell structure. It gives shape and rigidity to the cell. Bacterial cell also have cell wall. Bacterial cell has a cell wall. Cell wall, like this. What happens exactly? It is given. What is given over here? The membrane, the organelles, for example, these are organelles. They are enclosed in cell wall, and that cell membrane, enclosed in cell membrane. And this cell membrane provides shape and all to the thing. Cell wall is additional covering over the cell membrane, which gives more thickness to it. Okay, it gives more thickness. That's why cell wall is there. The next topic is size of cell. Size of cell in living organism may be smaller as millitone and of a meter, micrometer or micron. May be as large few centimeters. However, most of cells are microscopic in size and not visible with unaided eyes. They need to be enlarged or magnified. Of course, some cells are very magnified, while some are very small, where some are very big. Okay, so the small cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micron in a bacteria. Bacteria cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer. And the largest cell measuring 170 mm into 130 mm, and it is nothing but an egg of ostrich. Nothing but an egg of ostrich. Okay, so this is what our cell is. Smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micron, and the largest one is this one. Alright guys, let us move to next point. Boil a hen's egg, remove the shell. What do you observe? A white material surrounds the yellow part. Okay, the white material that surrounds the yellow part, white material is known as albumin, which solidifies on boiling. The yellow part is yolk. It is a part of single celled. You can observe this single cell without magnifying device. Of course, we just have to take one egg. We have to boil it, and of course, we'll be able to observe it. Are the cells in an elephant larger than the cells of rat? No. The cells, the cells which are there, they do not vary according to the shape. Okay, so the size of cell has no relationship between the size of body of animal or plant. It is not necessary that cells in elephant should be bigger than the cells in rat. The size of cell is related to its function. For example, size of cell is related to its function. For example, nerve cell, both in elephant and rat, are long and branched. They perform the same function, that is transferring of messages. So function of the nerve cell is transferring the messages. Cell structure and its function. Now, crucial point, cell structure and its function. So let us understand about it. Okay. Cell structure and its function. You have learned that each living organism has many organs. You have studied in class 7 about the digestive organs, which together constitute the digestive system. Each organ in the system performs different functions, such as digestion, assimilation, absorption. Similarly, different organs of a plant perform specific specialized functions. Of course, for example, roots help in absorption of water and minerals. Leaves, as we learned in class 7, are responsible for synthesizing the food. Each organ is further made up of smaller parts known as tissue. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific activity. So Paheli realized that an organ is made up of tissue, which in turn are made up of small cells, and cells in living organism are basic structure unit. So we know that already, we have learned multiple times about it. So part of cells. So first part is cell membrane. What is cell membrane? Cell membrane is a basic component of a cell, known as cell membrane. Cytoplasm and nucleus. The basic components of the cell are the three basic components: nucleus, cytoplasm, and cell membrane. Cytoplasm is the fluid in the cell. So this is nucleus, this is cytoplasm, and this is cell membrane. Okay, guys. So the three basic components are, the question will definitely come, what are the three basic components of cell? So the three basic components of the cell, the cytoplasm and the nucleus, are enclosed within the cell membrane, also called plasma membrane. So this question will also come. Cell membrane is also called as plasma membrane. The membrane separates the cell from one another, and also the cell forms the surrounding medium. The plasma membrane is porous and allows the movement of substances or materials both inward and outward. So thus they have given the information about cell membrane. It is a very porous membrane and allows the movement of substances or materials inward and outward. Okay. Next, in order to observe the basic component of cell, take an onion bulb and do this activity. Okay. Now the next thing we are on. The boundary of onion cell is known as cell membrane. This is cell membrane. This one, this boundary. Okay. This boundary. You can see over here. This boundary which I have drawn with blue color is the cell membrane. This is the nucleus and the fluid is cytoplasm. Cell membrane covered by another thick covering called cell wall. The center dense round body is nucleus and the jelly-like substance is cytoplasm. Between the nucleus and the cell membrane is cytoplasm. I want to know why plant cell needs cell walls. Okay, so here is the answer. You have learned earlier that cell membrane gives shape to the cell. In addition to cell membrane, there is another layer known as cell wall. The additional layer surrounds the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. Okay, the plant cells need protection against variation in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric pressure, and etc. So this is the crucial thing, guys. The question came, why does only plant cell need cell wall? Why plant cell need cell wall? Cell wall is needed for protection against variation temperatures, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, and etc. They are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. Of course, cell can be observed in the leaf peel of Tradescantia, Alodia, and Droyo. You can prepare a slide in the case of onion. So this was the thing. Here is the human cheek cell. Okay. Cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Cytoplasm is a fluid. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Various components or organelles are present in the cytoplasm. These are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes. You will learn them in later classes. Okay. Now the main thing is nucleus. It is an important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of cell. It can be stained and seen easily with the help of microscope. Nucleus is separated from cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. This nucleus is separated from cytoplasm by a membrane known as nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of material between the cytoplasm and inside the nucleus. So I will explain you by the structure. Okay, for example, here we are having the white page. And look over here now, guys. This hole is a cell membrane. Okay, cell membrane. Then inside it, sorry, wait a minute. Let me draw nicely. Okay. So look here. This is a thin membrane and overlapping with a thick membrane. Okay. This thick part is cell wall. This thick part is a cell wall. This thin part is a cell membrane. Actually, they are so close to each other, but I have drawn very far. And inside them, there is nucleus. There is a small dense body known as nucleus. That nucleus is separated by a nuclear membrane. This fluid, now there is one fluid. This, for example, this is the fluid. This is the fluid, this is the fluid. It is cytoplasm. This is cytoplasm. So what it is trying to say that this nuclear sorry, the image disappeared. That nucleus is being separated from cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane, as I explained you. Okay, so nucleus is separated from a cytoplasm by a membrane known as nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of material between the cytoplasm and inside the nucleus. So, next thing, with a microscope of higher magnification, you can see smaller spherical body in nucleus known as nucleolus. Nucleolus. Okay, inside the nucleus there is a small dense body known as nucleolus. In addition to nucleus contains thread-like structure known as chromosomes. Chromosomes carry genes and they helps in the inheritance of or transfer of characters from parents to the offspring. The chromosomes can be seen when cell divides. When chromosomes can be seen whenever the cell is divided. So this particular part, gene. So DNA contains gene. We all know that the DNA contains gene. So what is the use of this gene? So let us understand by the following. Gene is a unit of inheritance in living organisms. It is a unit of inheritance in living organisms. It controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parent to offspring. Means, for example, when parent is there and the characteristics of that parent is transferred to the offspring by genes, the DNA. This means that your parents pass some of their characteristics on to you. If your father has brown eyes, then you may also have brown eyes. If your mother has curly hairs, then you may also end up having curly hairs. However, the different combination of genes from parents result in different characteristics. Like some people, like some people are having, Some people are having green eyes, some are having blue, some are having brown because of their parents. Now, if the parents are also having that eyes blue, none of the parent is having blue eye, but child is having, then it is due to the mixture of different characteristics or different genes, and they're forming something new substances. Then it might be some genetic disorder as well. Genes also carry genetic disorders like night blindness, and blindness is the most common thing, and like many other things are also there, maybe lack in hemoglobin or lack in blood, etc are there. So nucleus this is not quite good. Nucleus, in addition to its role in inheritance, act as the control center of all the activities of the cell. The entire content of living cell is known as protoplasm. Now, what is protoplasm? Nothing but whole cell. The entire living content is known as protoplasm. Protoplasm includes cytoplasm, because cytoplasm is a fluid which is living fluid. Okay. It includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Protoplasm is also called living substance of cell. So this is very important. This part is very important. Now don't get confused between protoplasm and cytoplasm. Nothing. Protoplasm is not a fluid present in cell. It is just a name. So it includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Protoplasm is called the living substance of the cell. It is not any substance. It is just cytoplasm only. Paheli wants to know if structure of nucleus is same in cells of plants, animals and bacteria. Yeah, nucleus is this only and chromosomes are this only. Chromosomes are something like this I've seen in one video. Chromosomes are this, or like this one structure which is found in bacteria. There are two structures, so we'll be learning in higher standards. Next, the nucleus of bacterial cell is not well organized. The nucleus of a bacterial cell is not well organized like cells of multicellular organism. There is no nuclear membrane. The cell having nuclear material without nuclear membrane is termed as prokaryotic cell. What is prokaryotic cell? Prokaryotic cell is a cell which is having nucleus but not well defined. The nuclear membrane is not there. For example, this is a bacteria. Okay, this is the bacteria, and the bacteria is having thread-like structure, right? That thread-like structure is nothing but chromosomes. Nucleus is not there. Nucleus is not there. Nucleus is not there. Only these chromosomes are there in cytoplasm. That too cytoplasm. What we learned? Nucleus is present in nucleoplasm and nuclear membrane surrounds it. But here nucleus is not there. Inside nucleus we find chromosome. Chromosome is directly in cytoplasm only. Isn't it quite interesting? So this is prokaryotic cell, and mostly prokaryotic cells are found in multicellular organism, unicellular organism, not multicellular. Prokaryotic is not having the well defined cell, it is like कुछ भी उबड़ खाबड़ cell, जैसे कि कुछ भी nucleus, no nucleus is not well defined over here. Okay, this is prokaryotic cell. The organism with these kinds of cell is known as prokaryotes. Prokaryotes, pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. This cell is found in bacteria and blue-green algae. So understood prokaryotic cell? It's not a rocket science, it's just a piece of cake. But you have to understand, in prokaryotic cell, the nucleus is not well defined. Next thing, oh god, this is hell. Okay. The next thing we are having, we'll use some different color. Next example. Okay, the cells like onion cell and the cheek cell have a well organized nucleus. That is eukaryotic cell. All organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae are eukaryotes. Eu means true and karyon means nucleus. True nucleus. So now here I will just show you the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So I am having a white screen. Now see over here. This is a cell. This is also a cell. There is a nucleus. This is also, sorry. This is not a nucleus. There is a nucleus. In nucleus we find thread-like structures. But here inside cell directly the thread-like structure is there. And even what we learnt, there's a nuclear membrane like this, no? Here nothing is there. Only cell. Now this is cell membrane. This is nuclear membrane. This is nucleus. Inside nucleus. Okay, this is nucleus and this is nucleolus. Inside nucleolus there is nucleolus. Let us write nucleolus. I don't like this. Look, I'm just hating this particular thing which is coming and again. Sorry. Yeah, I told you this is cell. Here directly chromosomes is there, but here nuclear membrane, then nucleus, then nucleolus, then chromosomes. Means this is like not well defined, but this is well defined. This is well defined. Understood the meaning? There's nothing in it, just simple things. Alright. So prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Understood the difference between both of them? So next page. While observing the onion cells under the microscope, did you notice the blank-looking structure in the cytoplasm? It is called vacuole or vacuole, whatever. It could be single, big in an onion cell. Chick cells have smaller vacuoles. Large vacuoles are common in plant. Vacuole in plant animal cell are much smaller. Now they are introducing us with a new organelle, that is vacuole. What is vacuole? Vacuole is nothing but just a hollow-like structure in a cell. And it is why it is used? It is used because it carries some excretory product. Okay. You might have noticed several small color bodies in cytoplasm of a cell of Tradsantia. What's the pronunciation? Tradsantia. Okay, Tradsantia leaf. They are scattered in the cytoplasm of leaf cells. These are called plastids. They are different colors. Different colors means not not shades of colors. Green color. Some of them contain green pigment called chlorophyll. Who contain chlorophyll? We have learned that in plant cell chlorophyll is there and it helps in photosynthesis. But there's a controversy. This is a leaf. Now inside a leaf, there is green color cytoplasm. There is plastid. Plastid is there, something like small structure in the cell. And then what is the plastid? In plastid there is a green color pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, there is a green color pigment called chlorophyll. So this is nothing but the chlorophyll. Green color plastid green color plastid are called chloroplast. So plastid, then chloroplast, and then chlorophyll. They provide the green color to leaves. You may recall that chlorophyll in chloroplast of cell is essential for photosynthesis. Of course, we can recall it. Comparison of animal and plant cell. Okay. If you recall activity 8.3 and 8.4, you should be able to compare plant and animal cell. Okay. Observe the plant cell and animal cell carefully in 8.7. Let us tabulate the similarities, distinctions, features of plant and animal cell. Only a few features are mentioned. You may add some more in table 8.1. So what they have actually given in this figure is, now here suppose, okay, just look over here. This is a table. This is a table of plant and animal cells. So some similarities. What are the similarities? Both are having cell membrane. Both are having vacuole, but plants are having larger vacuole and this is having small vacuole. Both are having nucleus. Both are having cytoplasm. But what they are not having in common? Cell wall. Cell wall is present. Cell wall is present in plant cell, but it is not there in animal cell. Even plastid, chloroplast, it is present in plant cell, but not in animal cell. No. Next is what? Plastid, chloroplast, and the various substances. Okay, these are found in plant, but they are not found in animals. So this is the table of comparison. Now let us solve it. You ready, guys? Okay. Okay, cell membrane is present in plant cell, present in animal cell. Cell wall present in plant cell but absent in animal. Nucleus both present. Present है. न्यूक्लियर मेम्ब्रेन दोनों में भी है. प्रेजेंट है. साइटोप्लाज्म both are having. Plastid, plant are having plastid but animals are not having plastid. Absent, present. Vacuole, both are having vacuole, but sometimes in animal it is present also and absent also. It is not compulsory that animal should have vacuole, because in plant, what do plant do? Animal excrete the product, by poop. The animal excrete the product directly, but this plant is not able to excrete the product. So what do plant does? Plant stores the waste product in vacuoles. Therefore, animals do not need vacuole. This is the main reason why animals don't need it. Exercise. So let us solve the exercise. Now we are going to solve each and everything of NCERT. Indicate whether the following statement is true or false. Unicellular organisms are having one-celled body. True, they are having one-celled body. Muscle cells are branched. No, they are spindle. False. The basic living unit of life is an organ. False. It is cell. Amoeba has an irregular shape. True. Amoeba has an irregular shape. Then what? Done with this thing. Make a sketch of human nerve cell. Of course, it is already given. The human nerve cell is already given. Short information about cytoplasm. Okay. Part of cell which contains cell organelles. Yes. Cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains the organelles. What are the organelles? Mitochondria, ribosomes, Golgi apertures, and endoplasmic reticulum. These things. Differences between eukaryotic and prokaryotic we can easily write. Make sketches of animal and plant cell you can make. Then these are just questions. Okay, so let us solve this puzzle. First thing, it is necessary for photosynthesis chlorophyll. I won't write, I'm not able to write it. But chlorophyll. First is chlorophyll. Term for component present in cytoplasm. Organelles. Organelles. This is organelles. Okay, guys. You can write it. I'm not able to write organelles. Living substance in cell. Cytoplasm or protoplasm. Protoplasm. Protoplasm, yeah. Okay, protoplasm. Units of inheritance. Gene. Green plastid. Chloroplasts. Formed by collection of tissues, organ. Separated the content of cell from surrounding the medium. It separates the content of cell from the surrounding medium. cell membrane or cell wall? Membrane, it's membrane. Membrane. Then what? Empty structure in cytoplasm? Of course, vacuole. Group of cells? Tissue. I will like to tell you one fun fact. Did you know the study of tissue is known as histology and the study of cell is known as what? This is my question to you. If you know the answer, kindly comment below. Thank you so much.